God.
Hey everybody, welcome to That's Good Stuff, the show where we review pop culture's newest releases. And this week, the newest release was Andor Season 2. We got 3 episodes because I don't think anyone would kind of want to watch this week to week. I don't think it would hold anyone's attention. Um, so Season 2.
Wait, real
I,
fast, Thomas, you just
yeah.
watched season one for the first time, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
How did that go?
About as well as these 3 episodes. I'm
I,
sorry. We really need Michael for this podcast because, it's going to be a bunch of negative Nancy for me.
It also likes
I
Andor.
actually really liked Andor Season
Well,
1.
okay, cool. I have a target now. Joseph, get ready.
I thought, it's more dramatic, it's a little more adult, but then we get to this season, and I'm like, what the
I will.
heck
I will say
happened?
I did like in the first season the breakout scene was pretty cool. Pretty sure they stole that right from Call of Duty Cold War though. Um, Andy Serkis is great, even though the fact that his character is like they get this whole like big reveal. I can't swim, and then they leave him. I'm just like,
Yep, they leave him. He
I did like
deserves.
the whole like making the
okay,
parts scene where they're like, oh, we got to build it in a certain
yeah,
time. That was
I like
okay.
that. I like that because I've okay, not that I've been an actual like prison slave in a facility like that, but I have been in a industrial warehouse where that's pretty much you don't see the sunshine, you don't talk to people, you just put in the work. It's like that's kind of what it feels like, yeah. But the rest of the season, I'm just like, all right, so is something gonna happen? No, no, we're done. Well, okay,
We ended
cool.
where we started, and only the mom died, or I think it was the mom.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's the
Ashley.
only thing that happened.
that one boyfriend died for some reason.
Tim.
Oh, Tim was good, man. Tim was a good man.
Tim was not a good man. Tim
He was not a good man.
Tim deserved it. Um,
But also, what's his face? Stellan Skarsgård. I'm sorry, he's too good for this show. Like
he's great in this.
he's fantastic in this. The thing is, nobody else is fantastic in this. It's just like, well, okay, you showed up for work. Glad to see you.
All right,
All right,
season
cool.
2. We got to talk about season 2. So,
Oh yeah.
what the heck happened was my first thought of these 3 episodes.
Hold
Instead
up.
of
First scene in this episode. Did they, and I don't mean to be offensive, but did they have to focus on this woman's like
the
posterior for
Oh,
that long?
the
Like,
she would not be in the Empire. I would believe her in the rebellion because we had Porkins.
well,
That's we have.
I'm not like putting her down. She's a very attractive woman, but I felt uncomfortable because it was like just like the lower half of her for almost like a good 2 minutes. I'm just like,
They were, you know.
I
and I
mean,
what is with
okay.
Disney, I guess, in modern shows where they're like, they had to have that part where she's like, oh, she thinks you're cute. And they're like, ee. I was like, this is you're
I know.
taking down a government. Why do you care?
Yeah,
But
so
yeah, I was just like, I'm by myself and I'm feeling very uncomfortable.
the body positivity character is now the new token character in movies and stuff like that. Um, so instead of going through each of the episodes, because I think that would be boring, let's just go through the plot line. So Andor's
There is
plot
one.
for these 3 episodes, he steals a TIE Avenger.
Pretty cool.
And it was pretty cool to break out of the TIE Avenger and he's flying it around. Doesn't really know how to fly
That
it.
scene in the
And
hangar was cool because it was like all white, but then get this awesome ship, and I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
Starts off promising, right? You're like, okay, we're
I'm
stealing ships.
a little confused why a TIE fighter has a Gatling gun.
Yeah, that didn't make much sense.
I was just like, why would it need a rotating barrel? There's nothing coming out of it. Just that's a little odd.
that's
Like
for
I
the
like the
Wookiees
blasters
or
on TIE
the
fighter. It's cool.
Ewoks.
It's like what was that video where it was like Star Trek versus Star Wars and they're shooting lasers at
How primitive.
That's what I thought when I saw that.
It's
Yeah,
just
so
Worf like, oh, no honor.
so it starts off promising, and then it goes downhill real fast. So
Much like Andor in that TIE fighter.
Andor lands. Well, we find out what the planet is. I won't spoil it just yet, but we find out the planet. He lands on this planet, and he meets the dumbest, stupidest people ever, just conglomerated into a group of people.
I don't
This
know how
is
they're not all dead. How did they have a little group?
they kill each other. What the? So these are rebels, right? I don't know what they're trying to get across. That rebels were really stupid people.
So what I think they're trying to come across is that there's a bunch of, again, this is me trying to put this together. There's a bunch of rebellions going on at the same time, but not all of them are connected to each other.
Mhm.
Because you have like Saul Guerrera's, which I never got Saul. I'm sorry,
I don't like Soul.
I don't either.
Yeah, it's
I
hard
think
to
it's kind,
like.
I think he's kind of an idiot, honestly. Like he never seems to be doing like the tactically right
He
thing.
just like hangs out. That's
Yeah.
all he
Yeah,
does.
but you have like Saul, and then you have Mon Mothma, and then you have this is
Luthen.
Stellan. We're gonna call him Stellan. You have all these like uh backers and financial people that are trying to get these rebellions started, but none of them are talking to each other. So I think that's what they're trying to get across is that they're on the same side, but they really don't know it because they don't trust each other. And so, but if you looked at these people, you would think like these are just basically 12-year-olds that don't know how
They're
to do anything.
it's like they went into Target and just got a bunch of Target shoppers to be the rebellion or something.
Shots fired at Target for some reason.
I was like, what is this?
I
Why
thought
are
they
they
were the
so
Lost Boys
stupid?
from Hook. I was like, what is this?
No, the Lost Boys are more organized. Like they actually staged a
They
rebellion.
know Rufio's in charge. These people don't know who's in
Pan's back in
charge.
charge. Yeah.
Apparently, there
They
was
okay.
some lady in
The,
charge, but she's gone missing.
well, and like when Andor comes with the TIE fighter to meet up with his contact, he's like, "Where's my friend?" They're like, "Oh, we killed him." They're like, "Why?
You know
We
what's
don't know."
annoying? Like when he first gets there, they're like, "Oh, he's an Imperial. Obviously, he came out of a TIE fighter," and he kind of convinces them, like, I'm just I'm a spy." But then they get the helmet, and they're right back to like he's an Imperial. I was like,
Yeah, no.
he hasn't changed. He had that on. What are you talking about?
When that guy walked out with the helmet, he's like, "See, he is an Imperial." It's just like he's wearing like three symbols, like, and he
Oh.
walked TIE fighter. That's what convinced you?
So Andor gets locked up, and he's pretty much like he's a prisoner for these like most three of these episodes. And Andor, he's not the strongest part of his own show. He always seems like he's a side character in his own show because everything
He
else is
never
like
seems to know. He never seems to know what he's doing ever.
everything else seems more interesting than him, and he's just kind of there. um, yeah, so that's the plot line for Andor for these three episodes. He's in the ship. Um, these guys are fighting against each other. They split up.
And he escapes while taking advantage of a rock, paper, scissors competition.
And it's
Feels
I
good
wish
stupid.
I,
intense,
I
especially when
wish
you do the stalemates, and you're like, "Oh,
I wish I was making that up, but that is a plot line.
I don't even know what they called it. It's like monster something.
It's rock, paper, scissors.
Because
That's all it is.
they like growl at each other whenever they win the round or something. It's very stupid. So he breaks out because the guard guarding him is stupid. And then he runs and they get attacked by a beast. And then
oh
this like
yeah."
monster starts eating everyone. So he gets out of there. And
Is
when
that
he
one of
fought,
those things from episode two? The like, what are they called?
I don't know.
The Reeks or something like
The
that?
It
the
didn't
ones
look
in the
like it had
arena.
a
Yeah.
horn.
Oh, did it not?
Nah. Um,
I don't remember.
Andor flies away, and we see that this was Yavin 4, guys, our favorite planet. It's right there. um, I guess those guys died because they're not there when he comes back.
They don't talk about that.
We don't talk about
They built on top of them there.
Okay, so our next
The
storyline,
foundation had to be something, and it was them.
we get introduced to director Krennic, Jared's favorite Star
Oh,
Wars
I
character.
saw him and I was like, God, that just gets worse.
Jared's favorite Star Wars character of all time, director Krennic. This was probably my favorite plot line, even though it's just basically a director's meeting. That's what he's just talking about taking over this planet so they can get the minerals.
Pretty much everything involving the Imperials, including last season, was the
Yeah.
only stuff I actually enjoyed.
The ISB was very cool.
Yes, I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, this is espionage. This is like they're planning out like downfalls of economies and stuff like that. I'm like, I know this is like some nerdy crap, but this is actually kind of evil and awesome. Like, I get this, but then yes, it is just a PR meeting. Like, guess what? Guess what we did? It's like, you see these people? Oh, we did that.
Should
They
we choose
watched
lunch today?
Yeah,
Hmm.
they watched a tourist video about the planet, like "Welcome to this planet."
The faux
um,
arrogance, we did that.
and then he like intimidates the Dedra lady who was important last season. He's like,
Who
you know,
apparently is 18 years old. Did you see that video I sent you guys?
Yeah.
no,
So she's like in this later in the season or episode, she's like, my parents were taken away when
oh
I
yeah.
was 3 years old, and I'm and like, how long is this? 15 years? She's like, she's 18.
There's no
Rough
way.
paper route.
There's no way. Um,
Is this when he's like, you were quiet? And
yeah.
she is like, yeah, I didn't really have much to say.
Yeah, because she doesn't want to be assigned to this mission, but he's like, "You're doing this mission," and she's like, "Oh, darn it!" And she goes back to Coruscant, and that older guy who was the kind of the leader of the ISP last time, he's like, "Dude, you got to do this mission because you haven't found Andor, and you pretty much failed. You haven't done anything for months." And she's like, "Dang it!" So we find out that she is now involved with Serial Boy.
Did I miss something? Did they allude to that at all? Or did
Yeah,
they
at
just
the
At the
like
end of the
very
season.
at the very last
It was like
episode,
the last
'cause
shot too.
yeah, he saved her from the rebels in I
Mhm.
don't even know what town it was, like
Yeah,
Union
Ferris.
Workers Paradise over there, but that one, and they're like looking at each other intensely. I'm just like,
And she's
is
like,
something
I
happening?
thought they hated each other.
she
That's what
did.
I
She
thought
was a
too.
creep. He was a creep. He was like stalking her, and she's like, "Get away from me!" Um,
Stop looking me up in the archives. God.
yeah. And then at the end, she's like, "I should thank you," and he's like, "You don't have to." That was it.
Go Riz on this kid.
So we find out that Serial Boy has an apartment with her. And they're getting ready to invite his mom over. Because, Star Wars really needed this mother visit. I don't know what the heck they're thinking with this.
And for
Uh,
some reason, they have fondue.
this is like
Don't
when
know why.
Mass Effect, the show, they just talk at a dinner table about like Master Chief's feelings and stuff. It's like, why?
Oh,
You
Why
mean
are we
Halo?
the
doing
Halo
it?
show.
Yeah, in the Halo show.
He's getting so upset. He's crossing streams.
So,
That was the ugliest fondue too. They were getting like
oh
dripping
yeah, it did
everywhere,
look
and it just
bad.
didn't look good. I was like, "Ooh."
She's like, you're dripping, mother. I'm like, ew, stop. Don't say it like that.
And the mother is very unpleasant. She was unpleasant in the first season, but she was like even more unpleasant. Um, and
But
And she was like, "You listen here, old lady.
yeah, so she lays down the law.
yeah, like a good wife should.
You can see him twice a month, and that's it.
Because
And you will love it."
he gets upset and he like cries to his bed. He goes to
That
his
was
bedroom.
hilarious.
That
That
was
was
so
hilarious.
that was so weird. I'm like,
He's
did he
upset,
know?
and then he's like, "Oh."
They said that wasn't in the script, so he put that in there.
I'm sorry. I must go to my fainting couch.
Yeah, so
Coco Chanel, calm down.
that's all that there is to that plot. It's dumb. It's
What's weird, I was more involved, I was more interested in this plot. Like the entire like of this
Show?
like 3 episodes. I was like, right now, yeah. I'm just like, I don't know. One, it's kind of funny. Two, last season I actually liked this part. I kind of want to know where this goes. but yeah, I was just like, this is just funny. Like at this point,
Okay, so our third plot line follows Mon Mothma, Jared's new favorite Star Wars character. So Mon Mothma, she is getting ready for a wedding. It's her wedding between her daughter and a very wealthy guy that they made a deal last season that
Is that a guy?
by the
what?
way,
Oh, I don't know.
what's with like the what do you call it? Like the horror that this like your daughter's being married off. But it's like, well, I
That's their
mean, you're
culture.
yeah, I was just like, you're kind of like high ranking and like very rich and like powerful. Like this is kind of normal for y'all, right?
Hollywood
Yeah.
doesn't
So
understand political weddings or like
Yeah, they
marriages.
just
I
th-
guess not.
they think that's the worst thing ever. Is like arranged marriages.
Oh no, you live in opulence and you have everything cared for you. Oh
It
no.
was nice to see Chandrilla. I don't know if we've ever seen Chandrilla before in the show. Because they're like the big third rebellion group, right? So it was Corellia, Chandrilla, and
Oh,
Alderaan.
and
Those,
yeah, and Elderon, yeah.
yeah, so those were like the big
Which,
three.
by the way, should there be more Corellians
Yeah,
around?
where are all the
Because like
Corellians?
we haven't seen any since Solo. It's like
Where
the
are
Corellians are kind of like the big part because they're the military arm.
where are the
Like,
Antilles? We
Where's
need a
Crix
wedge show.
Madine?
Yeah, before this show came out, I was like, they really need to make a Rogue Squadron or a Race Squadron show.
That'd be
Do
fun.
Wedge, have
that would be
Wedge.
awesome.
Yeah, and no, I don't feel like that anymore because of what they're doing with this episode.
An
But
episode on that stupid mission where you have to escort
yeah,
Crix
Creeks out of
Madine
the
down the
jail, just
yeah,
do that.
terrible.
Yeah, so Mom
Yeah,
Mothma,
that just makes me want to read the X-Wing books now. Like, what a fun
Well, too
bunch of
bad we
books.
got Andor and we got to
just
finish it.
Yeah.
just adapt the EU, darn it, man. Okay, so Mom Mothma is marrying her daughter off to this banker guy that she needed the funds from her family because this new law says you can't get your family funds anymore. Um,
Is that what
and
was going on? Because I was confused the whole
yeah,
time. They're like,
and then there's this
what
other
about the
guy,
numbers?
who's been helping her arrange all this stuff from season one. Um, he's part of the rebellion too.
That white hair dude?
Yeah, and he's getting antsy because he's like, well, I don't get like any of the credit for any of this rebellion stuff going around. He's feeling self-conscious. Uh Mon Mothma's boy toy husband's there, you know. he's he's all excited, man. He loves this partying stuff. And Mama was sad because she doesn't really want to marry her daughter off. And then her sister, is this her sister or cousin? I can't remember. Uh,
Cousin.
okay, yeah, she's from the rebellion. And,
Which I'm sorry, her from last season. That was the weirdest like amount of like dialogue. Like, oh my God, I can't believe she's involved in religion. I'm just like,
did she say that? I don't even
th-
remember that.
so it's
Oh, the
when it's
daughter.
revealed that
Yeah, okay.
it's yeah, it's Mothma's like cousins. Like, don't tell me she's involved in religion. I'm just like,
Again,
We
I
had a
mean,
Jedi Council
again,
not too long ago.
yeah,
again, this is their culture. I don't know why, but
yeah. I'm just like,
she's very
uh,
against the culture of everything of that. And her
also
girlfriend is so annoying. She just like
is
stands
is
around
that
and frowns.
is that her girlfriend?
I
I know
yes.
I know they say like, but we love each other. I'm just like,
Oh, the one drinking and she was kind of like a annoying and she was like did she
No,
have dark hair?
no,
she does have dark hair, but she's at
that's
the
Oh.
very end.
that's
Oh.
that's Skarsgård's attendant.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Skarsgård.
I kind of like her. She's funny, but no, like the other rebellion girl that was in the raid the first season.
And she comes at
Oh,
the
She's
I
like,
forgot
very
about her.
end to pick up the guy in the taxi because she's like
Mm.
gonna
yeah,
kill him. Um, but in the
for some
first season,
reason.
she just stood around and frowned like the whole time. I was like, what's the point
Well,
of this character?
even when you find out they're together, she's like, well, our love isn't convenient. I'm just like,
Yeah,
you
it's
love
like
each other?
she's like
Because
very
I detected
angry.
none of that.
Yeah.
Like, is this like hate screwing here? Because that's all I feel from you.
So Luthen comes. He's here. That's Stellan Skarsgård character, who we all
Life of the
like.
party.
Yeah,
He's
and
like, it's not a party until I get here, and then he's like, woo.
Mon
Okay,
Mothma's not too happy to see him arrive because she knows that means trouble.
so this is for the deep lore here. Amongst the people who played Knights of the Old Republic, did he say Radakan?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
That's the second time they've referenced them.
Well, when he said that, I was just like, "Whoa, hold up, that's public knowledge," because I thought
Can't
that
just
was
be
like
dropping
classified.
that name.
Yeah, I was like, does that mean Revan is canon here? Like, what's going on?
Yes. Well, he's
Because
an antiques dealer, so he knows all.
also he said 25,000 years ago. I'm just
It's
like,
like
wouldn't that stuff be dust?
it's like him and Rick from Pawn Stars.
Yeah,
Know everything.
they know everything, and they'll lowball you on everything.
I'll give you $1.50 for it.
This is Boba Fett's helmet. What's
It's gonna sit in my shop. I gotta find a buyer.
I have Mace
Like an expert.
Windu's lightsaber right here.
I gotta call Dana to make sure it's real.
What do you call it? It's like,
Yep.
auction fees. They rob you blind,
Once it fell out of the Senate, it lost a lot of value. Oh man, we need a Pawn Star Star Wars edition.
That'd be awesome.
This isn't an IG-88. This is the knockoff version. I'm
This
sorry.
is
So it's going to drop the price.
7.
Yeah, this is gonna drop the price by at least half.
This one was recalled.
Rarity though, rarity. I like how we're dancing around everything but the plot.
But the show.
This episode sucks, dude.
So Luthen comes and he tells Mon Mothma, that guy's making some trouble. We can't have him talking about the rebellion and stuff like that. And she's like, "Oh, you're gonna kill him, aren't you?" And he just like, "Yep." So they have the wedding, speeches are made, and then it's time for Mon Mothma to cut a rug. So I mean, for like, I don't, half an episode, she dances, she gets a drink, she dances some more. It goes on forever.
I don't want to see rich people in Star Wars dance. I never wanted to see that. I love raves in like movies when fights break out in raves, like
I was gonna
John
say-
Wick or
Yeah,
something.
that's cool.
I was gonna say, or Blade.
Or Blade. This was the worst. I wasn't even hyped for this. I was like, well, awesome.
Someone was like, the music's so good in this, but it's the music from like the first season, and they play it on that one beach episode, so it isn't like it was new or anything. So that's pretty much what happens there. Like I said, the angry face lady comes in the taxi, picks the guy up, and she sees the other girl, and they look longingly at each other, and then she flies away. And okay, so our last subplot is Bix and the people from Ferrix, the survivors of Ferrix. They're now living on this farm planet. It really looked pretty good visually. It was kind of cool. So they're there.
Did you think it was the planet from Rebels? Because that's what I thought.
I don't know.
Because
Maybe.
there's like the rolling fields and everything else like that, and I thought they were gonna tie it in, but I'm like, nope, it's just some planet.
So they're living as illegal aliens. They make sure to tell us that.
Do you have a work visa?
They're illegals. And they're getting audited, so they're all scared because why is the Empire
IRS is coming.
here? Yeah, why is the Empire coming here to audit us?
What's more terrifying than the Empire? The IRS.
Bix
My
has a nightmare about being tortured. The little guy, the young guy who lost his dad in the first season, he finds love with the farmer lady. It's like Rebel Moon. This is Rebel Moon episode. The Andor's friends there too. The big mechanic dude, he's
I
there.
know it's always all right.
Yeah. The robot's there. Everyone's favorite little robot
Bee.
guy. B.
He's a little
And
guy. I like him. He's always worried about Andor. He's like,
Yeah,
can we
he's
go?
like-
And it's like, yes, little guy.
Where's Andor?
So Bix.
It's a
Oh,
Lenny. Don't worry.
We lost Thomas for a second.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
I still not here.
So
Oh, okay.
you're here. So Bix, they get audited, and Bix catches the eye of this one Imperial guy, and he's like, "Ooh, are you married?" And she's like, "Yes." Where is he? He's off planet. You could tell he's lying. He's off world. Just get away from me, you freak. So he catches her. She catches his eye, and they leave for a little bit because the big guy comes and is like, "Get out of here." But then they come back, and they come back with stormtroopers, and so this is the big controversial scene that's been going around the internet. So Biggs gets attacked. We can't even say what they say, but she gets attacked in her house, living unit, whatever it is, by this Imperial guy who doesn't have the best intentions. But she beats him up. She gets like a hammer or a wrench and starts smacking him in the head. The guy, he gets up and he gets hit again.
The screams this guy was doing when he was getting oh
And finally, she just beats the crap out of him, and he falls and he's
and then
dead.
and then his friend that drove him there, he's like, oh man, he's really screaming like a girl in there. Like
He's like, "What's going on here?" He's like, "He attacked me," but she doesn't say attack. And and so he starts shooting at her, and the mechanic guy, he's on his swoop bike, and he's out trying to get to her. Andor arrives finally, and he starts shooting up all the Imperials, but he's not in time to save his friend. His friend gets shot instead. But he's there to save
he killed
Biggs.
stormtroopers with rain. I was like, just like Bug's Life.
Yeah, I'm sorry that we are like not shying away, but we can't see the stormtroopers get shot by a laser. We have to make them die green.
They needed that scene. Biggs.
That's where they draw the line.
Andor actually doesn't say Biggs. It's the young kid. He comes and shoots the guy, and the day is saved. Yay! And that's
Ooh.
pretty much pretty much where the episode was. The controversy was stupid. It was a big nothing. It was just an attack of a guy attacking a girl, which we've seen in movies forever. The only controversy was she said the word, and if she didn't actually say the word, it probably would have just died there. But the internet loves a controversy. Um, I mean, it's Disney. This happens in Disney. I bet Beauty and the Beast. Anyone? That was pretty, bad. So yeah, I didn't think the controversy was anything. It just seemed overblown and
I think it's
I
weird that
s-
she just shouted it. I was
yeah.
just like,
yeah.
all right.
Because why would she say that to his friend? I mean,
I thought it was gonna be worse because I saw that clip that Thomas posted, and I was like, "Oh, I don't really want to watch that." It's
yeah,
Star Wars, and
yeah.
then it happened. I was like, "Oh, it's not that bad.
It,
It's
it
just
was
that she said
nothing.
that,
Yeah. So the first
and she knocked the crap out of him." So that was
she
cool.
did, she kicked his butt. Um. So yeah, that was the first 3 episodes of Andor, and I got to tell you, I was super disappointed. They say it gets better. Do we believe them?
Not
No.
after what I just saw.
No.
Not after
No.
Sorry.
Daredevil, because I kept hearing Daredevil, it gets better, it gets better. It got worse and worse and worse, and I hope this gets better because I liked the first season. But
If if you have a rave in your show and it doesn't get me hyped, you've done something wrong.
You messed up, son.
What's wrong? More Krennic, please.
Ah, he ruins everything. He ruined this. He ruined Marvel. He what doesn't he ruin?
Dude, Secret Invasion was terrible.
Oh my God.
He was
We
all right
did.
in Ready Player One. I liked him in that. Played a good bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
He was good in that.
K2SO is supposed to be coming, so we'll see him. Who else are we supposed to see? We're supposed to see something. I don't know. I've heard others. Oh, what's
I
his
think
name? From Alderaan, that guy. Bail Organa.
oh
Oh.
He's
Bail
supposed to be in
Organa.
this, so
Jimmy Smits.
no, they recasted him.
He's getting a little old though.
Oh.
They
He'd
re-
be like appropriate age now.
they recast him with the guy that kind of looks like him. So That Benjamin Bratt guy, he always kind of looks like him, but
Oh, really?
yeah. So
Mm-mm.
we'll see him. Is
I
there
think
any? It.
I think Nerdrotic put it the best. Like, this is a prequel of a prequel that was a sequel to the prequel. So it's just like, what?
Is
And
this
it
how long is this season?
9 episodes, I think it
Oh,
is.
thank God.
Get-
When I
Nine
saw
or
12 on
12,
the
because it
first,
goes in 3 episode arcs. I know that. So
They have to get better than these three because
yeah,
that
this
was
was this
embarrassing.
was not a good start to this season. What would
I'll be
save
honest
it
with you,
for you guys?
I, I didn't like the first like part of the first season. It was so boring. Like, yes, like the raid was kind of cool, but then it's kind of okay. I did laugh my butt off in the first season, but not for the reasons that you think. Like, because you had like that there because he's stationed with those guys and the revolutionaries, and you have that one dude that just won't shut up about the revolution and socialism, basically. And the fact that this like little Marxist twink gets killed by literal money, I think is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen. And the thing is, I don't think they even like did it intentionally.
No, there's no
But I was just
way.
like, I was like, there's just no way that this socialist just got killed by money because that is freaking hilarious.
That's the ironic death.
I know. I was just like, there's no way that they're that self-aware. Like they can't be. Star Wars isn't that fun anymore. But
So it is
I
12
did enjoy that.
episodes.
No.
You know,
Question: Is this the same writers as the first season?
same writers, but different directors.
Huh. I don't remember this bad of dialogue or just like ideas in the first season. Just
Or plot or lack
yeah.
thereof.
Well, there,
Like,
yeah. Yeah, there was no focus at all. It was just like, we got these three stories we got to tell.
well,
Is
And
that's the
this
thing is
more
like when like
Andor in my Andor show?
yeah, like I said,
or Andor actually doing something.
Andor always feels like a side character in this whole series so far. Yeah,
It's kind of been the Mon Mothma show, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
And I don't give a
ooh.
crap about her starting the rebellion.
I
Like,
I thought
like
she was just
well,
the political arm. That's all I thought she was.
I like Mon Mothma. I I just wish they'd focus, like Thomas said, on the three, like the three coordinating with each other or something. Um, I don't know. How would it recover, do you think? More action, more I
There's got to
like
be
the
more action because the first season didn't have enough. Sorry, it needs more because we don't have lightsabers. So like, please, like use the blasters, use X-wings, use something because he's supposed to be this really good pilot, but we never really see him pilot very
That's
well
true. We
or
don't see him
anything.
pilot at all
cool
in the first.
space fights would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
ISB
We should have just had
again.
a Rogue Squadron show.
We
That would
do
have been
just
way
need a
better.
Rogue Squadron show. Just do that. Just give us what we want, darn it.
wait till Starfighter comes out. Is that
That's not gonna be.
I don't even know. Like I
Give me Top Gun, but with Star Wars, which was Top Gun kind of was this last time because they
I
had that
want.
trench run. But
I want the Wedge show, man. Give us Wedge.
no, be careful what you ask for, Joseph, because we've been asking for other things too. And when we get it, we're just like, oh,
Yeah, they
they
would
kind of ruined that, didn't
ruin
they?
Wedge somehow.
they love that one rebel pilot in new Star Wars,
Yeah, it's
like
true. That guy's
that one that always
everywhere.
shows up.
He's in every patrolling every sector. He's
I know.
always
How does
out.
he cover that much space?
That
That's a
X-wing
sh
gets around.
that's a short range fighter, sir.
That doesn't have hyperdrive. What do you? Oh, yeah, it
Also, we
does.
haven't seen the X-wings yet, and I'm sorry, but X-wings are supposed to be old.
Yeah, they
Like,
are. That's one thing I didn't like about the sequel trilogy. They're so old, but then they have like new ones, and it's like, why don't you get a new design? It's just like, yeah, hopefully it fixes itself. It's supposed to be better. It's supposed to get better. That's all we know. Hopefully the next round of episodes is great. So
I've been hurt before, Joseph.
you've been hurt
I'm
before.
constantly hurt by Disney and
Star
Marvel.
Wars, or stop hurting us, Mickey.
I'd like some not hurt.
We would like not to hurt anymore. All right.
Kathleen
So,
Kennedy's going, no, no.
Dude, when she's like, I'm never leaving.
yeah. Never. She is
I
the
am the
Emperor.
Senate.
Unlimited power.
I am Star Wars. All right. So I think that's going to do it for this one. We'll check back out later to see how it
maybe
goes.
maybe Michael will come in and just like completely change our minds. I don't know. Because
he just
He's like,
loves
did
it.
you fools not get the whole marriage
Well-
thing?
like I kind of wanted him on this podcast because I kind of want to like look him straight in the eye. I'm like, Michael, help me, please, because I haven't enjoyed any of this. Help.
All right.
I
don't
mean,
know.
we mentioned Star Trek in the first 5 seconds of this talk.
That is
That's
true.
sad.
Well, luckily we don't have to watch any of it. I can't take any of the new Star Trek either, but tell us what you guys thought about the show. And like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff. We will see you in next time. Bye.